Hello, hello. Welcome to Masterclass Color Me Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're watching the replay, put in the comments replay so I can enter you into a prize. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. It's not so much showing products today as much as it is teaching you which products are best for you. And that's from lipsticks to cheek colors to clothes to eyeshadows, everything. So let's go ahead and get started because I do want to respect your time. And these master classes are only meant to be 15 to 20 minutes at the most. Okay. So Color Me Beautiful is a color system to determine like what you are. So you have warm or cool, and that is divided into 4 seasons. And this helps to determine which color palettes look best on you. What colors are most flattering to you. And just because somebody compliments you for what you're wearing doesn't mean that that is actually the most flattering on you. It just means they like the color. It may look good on you, but you want them to see you before they actually see the shirt, right? So this Color Me Beautiful theory is based on 4 color types: spring, summer, autumn, or fall, and winter. Okay. So which seasonal type you are depends on 2 basic variables: the undertone of your skin and your hair and your eyes, warm, golden versus cool or ashy, and how light versus deep your overall coloring, specifically your hair color. Okay, so the season that represents the 4 possible variation of these 2 variables. If your natural hair color, okay, so we're talking your natural hair color. Your natural hair color is lighter than medium brown, you would be typed as either a spring or summer. If it's darker, you are a winter or a fall. So if your skin tone and hair have a warm undertone or you're a natural redhead, you would be classed as either a spring or a fall. If your skin has a bluish or cool undertone and your hair is more ashy color and has no golden or red highlights, you are either a summer or a winter. Okay, so that just kind of sums it up. But how do you determine which color season you are? So the color analysis is broken into seasons because the seasons already have certain color associations. We think of deep, warm reds, oranges, and browns. We think of the gorgeous leaves and things of fall, right? So in winter is reminiscent of winter white and icy blue and royal purples. And spring is lush greens and floral pastels. And summer is light, airy, beachy, and bright, bold colors. So that's how we already distinguish our seasons with colors. So we'll look at 3 aspects of your coloring to determine if you're a fall, spring, summer, or winter. And I do have graphics to show you, and I'm going to post those below and let you guys see them so you can see exactly what colors match you. All right, so we look at 1, the hue, and that's our color or warm undertones. And 2, value, that's light or dark. And then 3 is your chroma. It's soft and muted or bright and clear. Okay, so finding your color analysis hue. The first part of figuring out your color analysis is determining your hue or your skin's undertone. And we do this all the time with foundation. So if you haven't been matched by me for foundation, you need to do that because we have over 70 colors, but the colors, like some people say, well, I'm a beige this, I'm a beige, and the color that is higher on the chart is not necessarily darker. It's more about your undertone. Okay, so that's really important to know, regardless if you care about this color analysis or not. All right. So this will determine if you have a warm or cool skin tone. So you can in turn determine if you look better in warm or cool colors. So are you a cool or warm? So we're going to take 5 tests, and I want you to write down A's or how many B's you get based on the following. Okay. All right. So, number one, vein test. I want you to turn your hands over and look on the inside of your wrists. Okay. And I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but if you look at mine, you can see. Let me see if I can. Let me take off my watch. Maybe I can show you this so I don't have my tattoo on. Okay, so if you see the veins here, do your veins appear mostly green, or B, do your veins appear mostly blue or purple? Now, mine's a little different. I actually have blue and green. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute. So if you do have blue and green, put A and B. Okay. But if your veins are mostly green, if they just look like the color green when you're looking at your veins, then put A. If they look mostly blue or even a purplish color, then put B. Okay? All right. So, test number 2, the jewelry and metal test. So, get into natural sunlight, and I want you to put both silver and gold against your skin. Thicker bracelets work really good, or thicker necklaces, just anything so you can easily compare. And be mindful in this test that you want to be objective and not just opt for the metal that you wear most often. Okay, so A, silver, or B, gold. Which one looks better on you? So I myself look better in silver. I can wear gold though. So, but gold doesn't look as good on me as silver. Okay. All right. So, number 3, white paper test. I want you to get a like white printer paper, or you can even use fabric. You just want to make sure that it's bright white and not ivory or off white. Printer paper works really well for this. Stand in natural light with no makeup on, and which applies to you. You're just going to hold it up like this, okay? And does your skin appear yellow, golden, or peachy next to the white paper? Or does your skin appear bluish, red, or pink next to the white paper? And as you can see, mine's more of a pinkish color. Okay. So number 4, the sun test. So which phrase sounds more like you? And sometimes we take medications or we have medical conditions that impact how our skin reacts to the sun. So if you can remember before you were on that medication, how your skin reacted, our skin usually will kind of change as we get older, but for the most part, how our skin reacts to the sun is how it's always been. So A, do you tan more easily than you burn? Or B, do you burn more easily than you tan? So I tan more easily than I burn. So I would be A on that one. Okay. Now, test number 5, the pink or orange test. Again, you want to stand in natural light with no makeup on. Hold up fabric or something that is bright orange, and take a picture of it. In the same lighting, hold up a bright pink fabric or bright pink piece of paper and take a picture. So A, do you look better next to the bright orange fabric, or B, do you look better next to the bright pink? All right, so I already did this test, and so I didn't have any fabric that I could find on hand. So I used pieces of paper. So as you can see, I look so much better in the pink. Orange does not do real well on me. So that one, I'm a B. Okay, so here's the test results. Okay, so if you have mostly A's, you are likely have a warm skin tone. If you are mostly B's or all B's, then you likely have a cool undertone. Okay, all right, but if you have a near even split between A's and B's, or you could easily figure out one of the answers to some of the above questions, then you may have a neutral skin tone. And that's actually what I have. I have a neutral skin tone. Okay, so, but I want you to know there is technically a fourth option, which is called olive. This is, we usually consider olive a cool color because the undertone is blue, but the overtone is green. And there's not that many people in the world that have that, but there is that. So for right now, let's just consider yourself a cool undertone if that's you. Okay. All right. So if you have a warm hue, you have more golden, rich undertones. You're likely have less contrast between your skin, eyes, and hair. Your eyes are probably hazel, brown, or amber. And your hair might be chestnut, caramel, or rich brown, red, auburn, yellow, strawberry blonde. Okay. So if you have a cool hue, you likely have lighter skin with darker hair. So there's a greater contrast, okay, compared to others. You have moderate to high contrast within your features. Your eyes are likely gray, green, blue, violet, light brown, or hazel. And your hair is likely black or brown, gray, ashy brown, or white or ashy blonde. Okay, so let's determine your season. So this is your value, and your value refers to light and dark aspects of the color analysis, as well as the contrast between your features. The hue came from your skin tone, but now we're going to look at your hair and eyes to figure out your season. So if you are a warm hue or a warm undertone, you are either spring or autumn, bottom line, okay? If you have a cool undertone, you are either summer or winter. Now we just have to narrow it down. Okay. And that's what the value helps us do. So light value is lower contrast. So it's the absence of depth in your features. A dark value is higher contrast, and that depth is apparent between your eye and your hair color. So in other words, I have a lower contrast because I have lighter hair and lighter eyes. So someone that has a higher contrast, let's say dark hair and green or blue eyes. Okay, so that's a higher contrast. All right, so a warm, you're either autumn or you're spring. So autumn and spring both have warm undertones with little contrast between your features. Spring and autumn feel more like a soft blend than a stark contrast. Okay. Autumn is darker while spring is lighter. Okay. So it still has that soft blend and little contrast, but it's a little darker than what the spring is. So autumns have dark hair, dark eyes, while spring seasons generally have lighter hair and lighter eyes. Okay, so autumn, dark hair, dark eyes, low contrast, and you should be wearing rich colors. Spring, light hair, light eyes, low contrast, you look better in muted colors. That's your chroma. Okay, so autumn examples: hair, mid brown to black, medium to deep red with gold and red undertones. Your eyes, hazel, medium to black brown, olive, warm green. Okay, so spring examples: hair, light blonde to medium brown, strawberry blonde. Your eyes, clear blue, green, turquoise, hazel, or light brown. Okay, so the cool, winter or summer. Winter and summer both have cool undertones, but winter tends to have greater contrast than summer. Winter will likely have dark hair, bright eyes, and high contrasting features. Summer is going to have lighter hair and lighter eye colors. There is still some contrast in summer, but the contrast is definitely more moderate in winter. So, examples: winter, dark color, bright eyes, high contrast. You look really good in saturated colors. Where summer, light hair, light eyes, moderate contrast, and you look best in muted colors. Okay. All right. So that is the color analysis. See, it's not really hard, right? And you probably already knew this, but it just is really helpful to keep these things in mind. So that way you know exactly what colors would look best on you and what eyeshadows to choose and cheek colors. And, as a makeup artist, this is something that I have to constantly look at and keep in mind when I'm choosing different colors for my brides, especially. So this makes it really easy when because you already know, okay, this is the palette of colors I need to stick with. It doesn't mean you can't experiment, but to look your absolute best is really something great to keep in mind. Okay, so um, I am offering 50% off of any color palette. That's the palette with 3 eyeshadows and a cheek color. Okay. So whatever you guys want to, after you finish watching this, put the code word seasons in there. But I also want you to put in the comments, what season are you? And look at the charts that I'm going to be putting in there, so you can kind of see what colors best fit you. And these, based upon your season, we can set you up a really nice palette. But 50% off, that's awesome. That's actually at what I pay for wholesale. Okay, so, but I want you guys to get something that you really like and that you really will use. So anyway, thank you guys so very much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure again. And next month, I did put, let me back up. So I put in our Facebook customer group. I want to know what master classes you guys would really be interested in and what you would see, like to see in the future. So, but next month, August, it's going to be on brushes, the 101 on brushes. There are hundreds of makeup brushes out on the market. Mary Kay sells a lot of brushes, but what do you do with them and how do you use them? So we're going to get to the nitty gritty next month on our brushes, so you know how best to use them. Okay, people. Thank you so much. God bless. And make sure you put seasons in the comments along with which season you are. Okay. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.